What's good, Buck fans? This is the aftermath on 102.9, the game Broad Street South Radio. We're going to get into the Buccaneers and the Eagles game this Monday at 7:15. We're going to talk about the X's and O's, what needs to happen. So get yourself ready for Bucks Report, the aftermath. Let's get it. Slick, what's up? Got him! What's up again, folks? You're watching the aftermath on 102.9, the game Broad Street South Radio. It's one of your hosts, AJ Turn Up in the house, and we got my man, Coach Slick, right here, the British guy who's always saying, stand by and stays fly. How you doing today?
I'm feeling fucking rough, brother.
It's all good. Hopefully Monday it'll make you all feel better.
Oh, for sure. Hey, I got my medicine.
Ain't nothing wrong.
It's medicinal, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yes, before we even get into the Bucs news, because I know you guys, we have to get this elephant out of the room, and I'm going to bring it up. Now, if you watched the Colorado game in Oregon, you should not be surprised how that game turned out to be.
I'm not shocked.
It's a powerhouse organization, school that has been established for so many years already, playing against a first-year coach who's figuring it out, who's still doing a damn good job. Now, I want to ask people this, because it's been a lot of things that's come to my attention about the arrogance and the bravado and how he's bringing this upon himself. I want to ask,
when has he said he was going to beat anybody?
exactly.
When did he say he was going to whip anybody? This is the thing I don't like. He's got confidence.
Yep.
He's got confidence in fucking spades. For sure. He's never turned and said, oh, we're going to whip these boys. We're going to whip this team. We're going to watch the. All he's ever said is, we're going to go out. We're going to show out. We believe we're going to do our thing.
Damn right.
We've got studs across the board. We are going to do our thing. We believe.
I want to bring this up to people because I want to ask you, everybody out there who loves the game of football and who watches, I want to ask you this simple last question. First of all, who gave a shit about the Buffs last season?
Amen.
Better yet, how many people got drafted from the Colorado school? I can tell you, April 30th of 2023, 6 players. Now, that might seem like that's a lot, but for a Power 5 school, that ain't shit. On an average, typically, at least 15 from even a weak Power 5 gets picked up. What has Prime done now? Prime has given the attention that can change the lives of so many players on his team.
I agree.
It's going to show guys that you would not expect that has skills to get opportunities, because just look at it like this. It's the same opportunities that your D3 schools, your D2 schools are going to get, because people are shining a light on players, not just because of the schools they play for, but what they can do. Buck fans, you should already know, if we were judging people by schools, we would never have gotten Ali Marpet. Ali Marpet didn't play for a good school, a big-ass name.
We got Cody Mock.
We wouldn't have gotten Cody Mock.
We would not fucking have touched him.
We wouldn't have touched him. Guys.
Who did his team play that were any good?
Exactly.
Realistically, this is why they have these like the NFL LPA bowl, all these collegiate bowls that they do after.
That's right.
And we're big on that. Like the Buccaneers are really big at attending those, because it's a chance to see diamonds in the rough. And that's where he's seen. This is why he always goes small school, usually around the 2nd and 3rd round. He usually goes for a small school of a guy he thinks has the athleticism to make it to the next level. And so far, I mean, you go by those picks, and I'm going to go from 2015 onwards, because I think that's the case I'll go with. So Ali Marpet retired because he just didn't want to play anymore. He was dominant. There's no one can tell me that. I honestly believe that guy was, I wouldn't say on a Hall of Fame trajectory. It's not impossible to believe, but I don't want to say it because it's too premature, and I don't want to be one of those guys. You know, when people say that their players are fucking that cat, I don't want to be that guy just to toot the horn for the tooting the horn. But he was very dominant. He won a Super Bowl, made a Pro Bowl. I think he went all pro, and he was like, I've ticked every fucking box I need to do. I've got my health. I'm getting out early. And he made a few $1 million along the way, but more than a few $1 million along the way.
That's right.
But the Buccaneers have been adamant, absolutely, especially with offensive linemen.
That's right.
That I'm trying to remember the gentleman that we let go to the Bengals.
Oh, are you talking about Alex?
Alex Kappa.
Alex Kappa, yes.
Alex Kappa, still in the league though.
Still in the league.
Still in the league, and he was Division 2. So you know.
Yes, a lot, and that's my point to people out there who love football. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're not. I hope you're actually a person. I hope you're not a robot or AI.
She's a friend. She's a friend of mine.
Well, hello. Thank you for watching. But yes, for football players, for people out there who love the game, this man is giving you. He's giving people opportunities that nobody gave a shit about last year. Nobody gave a shit about this team. Prime is putting these boys in position. And what is wrong with telling your players, I believe in you, despite nobody else believing in you? The point is, stop worrying. Let me hold on. And before we even go to this, do I need to bring back Prime's accolades? The greatest fucking corner to ever play the game. Arguably one of the greatest players, top 5 players to ever play the game.
I'll tell you something, AJ, just from a coach's standpoint here. I don't teach, you know what after sideline is for DBs?
Yeah.
That shuffle technique?
Yeah.
I didn't coach that until recently because Prime was like, if you're after the sideline, you can't cover.
Exactly.
You can't cover man to man like that. You just can't, because if they break out, your ass is to the sideline. So you've got to turn your body completely, almost no more than 180. You've got to go like the full, like fucking not. Yeah, you've got to go. You've got to 180 that shit.
Yeah, that's my point. My point is that's Prime's accolade.
He was the fucking dude.
He's the guy.
This guy retired for 3 years and then fucking still got fucking 6 interceptions.
And came back. So a lot of these coaches don't like it. First of all, let's go to the Oregon side. Oregon's a fucking established entity of college. One of the most college programs of the league. What the fuck do you mean that nobody's watching you? You're watched all the fucking time. You're literally you literally are one of the most top sales in uniform. People love you and adore Oregon.
That's not known for one thing and one thing only, but having a shit ton of uniforms and fucking losing when it counts.
Exactly. And this is my thing. Now that a lot of people are slurping up this team. Okay, they beat a team that is still in development. So first things first, Prime and them lost due to lack of talent. Oregon is
only up front though, dude. Only up front.
Oh no, their line was awful. The line was awful.
That's always going to be the case. The Pac-12 has never been known for good lines for starters.
Nope.
And then you've got a team that's just emerging.
That's right.
That line's going to be shit.
Exactly. And my thing is, no fucking shit. They were 21-point favorites anyway. So if anything, if they lost under 21, you're actually giving Colorado more credibility. That means they can hang in there. So this is why I'm sitting here confused of, they're playing for clicks. So what do you mean?
But dude, you just gotta remember, and I'm like, I thought about this, and I was a bit, just like you, I was a little bit pissed off, and I was like, this is fucking lame. And I looked it up, and it's him talking to his team, and the media's taking it out of context. I got no problem because I know coaches say that kind of shit. We say stuff that riles them up. They think you're shit. Look at this, what they said about you, boss. They said you were a fucking pussy willow. He said you couldn't block. Said you couldn't fucking run the ball. Said you play like fucking Jane. You look like Tarzan, play like Jane. So I don't have a problem with it now that I've seen the context that it was in, because it's just him ramping up his team. I would say that they're really good at social media, really fucking good at social media.
Yeah, because
Prime knows that that's how you get recruits. That's a fact. What are they doing? They're looking at their Instagram. They're looking at their TikToks. AJ, what do me and you do on the end of the weekend? We make a fucking video together where we talk about the game, right? because it gets clicks, it gets likes, and it brings people to the show. That's all he's doing. He's bringing people to the show, and that show is Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
It may look goofy to everyone else because it's unconventional, but he knows what teenagers are dialed into.
That's
The
right.
old ends are just going meeting the mom and the family and shaking the hand and going, well, we can give your son a good education. No, they want fucking Coach Prime, who's going to turn around and I will do everything to make your son a good human being. And if we can get him there, we'll get him to the fucking league.
That's right. And
But
also,
he will walk away. He will walk away a better human being. He'll get his education because he should. He'll walk away a good human being, education, and if we can, we'll get him to the league. And if not, he'll have a great experience.
exactly. And also another thing, we're going to give him a real opportunity. When these kids are not stupid. Nowadays, they're looking at the fact if you go to Alabama, Florida, any of these big elite places, and if you're not at the top of your game, you might not even start, or you might not get any PT. Colorado, as we can see already, they need help on the trenches, big time, on the defensive line and the offensive line. So if I'm a high school guy, well, shit, I know Alabama's very prestigious, but I might not step on the field. Who gives a shit if I play for Alabama, but I'm riding the bench? No, I'm gonna go to Colorado, where a guy like Prime is gonna help me. Like you said, and we can turn things around. Opportunity is what these boys are gonna look like, and then the simple fact that he's bringing Sap to his organization. Oh my God!
I tell you one thing about Sap, and this is something that's always been said by him. He's always. I'm waiting for the dude to do his little crash in a minute, but I'll try and get it in before then. The thing about Sap is he said he doesn't like coaching kids because they're always on their phones, they're always into Instagram. That just goes to show the level of focus that Coach Prime has on this football team. That he's got, dude. I didn't even see it in his voice. He's like, bro, no, it's all right. Oh, they ain't looking at no Instagram. They look at Instagram. I'll kick them off the fucking football team.
That's what I do, Slick. When I was on the team,
I don't give a shit. They'll go.
Yep.
Sap, you're here. I would not be surprised if this team defensively is coached by Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Sap at some point.
If that happens, I'm literally flying out to Colorado just to watch them practice. I'll tell them, look, you can take my phone. I'm not.
Think of the motivational speakers, though.
Yeah, I just want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. Like you said, and Sap, I guarantee you, this is we got an incoming dude, but I guarantee you, Dion is gonna be like, Sap, do your thing, talk your shit if you got to, because Sap will be like, oh, you want to be on Instagram? Oh, you want to talk to that girl? You know what? You're gonna fuck up on the field, and she's gonna go with the dude who beat you. That is what I. What's up? We got the dude in the house. What's going on, my dude?
Hey, it's Monday night, dude, on Saturday night. What's up, college football fanatics? Oh, by the way, special shout out to Cousin Joe tuning in on YouTube. What's up? Yeah, hey, are we going to talk some Buccaneers football, or are we still on the Deion Sanders thing?
We're going to get into the Buccaneers now.
All that shit intertwined.
Hey, it's 15 minutes. Give me his 15 minutes.
I know. I need to get
Wait. Hey, Deion in Colorado have not been lacking coverage, bro. Tell me a night in the last month that they haven't led off SportsCenter with Colorado or Deion, and I'll wait. That said, Slick brought up a good point. 7-5 for Colorado's good. That's a good turnaround. Deion, keep doing what you're doing, but realize. And here's the thing: it's a double-edged sword. It works. It cuts. The way you're going about building a program, the way you're bursting onto the scene, I guess would be can Deion Sanders burst onto a scene? I mean, we all knew who Deion was, but anyway, what you're doing is good. I like looking at a sideline full of former players coaching, if for no other reason. They're not out doing stupid stuff like negotiating with prostitutes, Warren Sapp. Oh, wait, you got a job with Colorado, too, coming up here soon, I saw.
Hey, as long as he doesn't have to speak.
So here's my question, and this always opens up so many debates, it's ridiculous. if Colorado, based on their top 25 victory over TCU at the time, it justified them moving into the top 25, does this justify them moving out?
Yes.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
and I'm okay with that because I didn't expect this team to be. I didn't expect them to beat TCU. I didn't expect, and I thought they would have a dogged game against Nebraska. I honestly thought they would run away with it against Colorado State. But college football is a funny, weird thing. It just doesn't always work. But I tell you one thing: I'm tuning in to Colorado. I never watched Colorado until this season. That's a fact. And I will continue to watch because I'm just interested. I like watching his post games. I like watching his pre games. I like everything that he's doing.
How was his post game today?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
Because see, and here's the thing: born and bred Seminoles fan, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about when they won a championship with Jameis Winston. I'm talking about before they were in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Right about the time where a football player from Oklahoma, running back named Billy Sims, played, going to the Seminoles' first Orange Bowl appearance in 1979. That's where I'm coming from. Dion is Tallahassee as much as Tallahassee is Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, hey, bro, the coverage is great. What you're doing is fantastic. You need to dial it back a little bit, and stick with me because I'm cool either way. Or you got to have the same energy in defeat you do in loss.
I think he will.
I'll give his players credit. His players played hard. They stepped up. They continued their swag in the face of adversity. Anyway, adversity. I left out the T because
you need an English person on the show.
Well, I mean, we got to get something out of the UK. But next week is going to be really hard for Colorado. Washington State's no joke.
Nope.
Even Oregon State, if you get in a slugging match, a fist haymaker with Oregon State, you're in trouble. Stanford, they should blow by. And Stanford's a legitimately historical solid team, but not so much this year. I see, and call me hater, call me tater, call me whatever. Just don't call me late for dinner. I see USC, Washington State as, I don't want to say guaranteed lock losses for them, but losses. Now, here's the thing. Colorado, you got your lunch handed to you today, bro. There's no way to spin it. You can say what you want. You lined up against somebody and they ate your sandwich and took your lunch money for tomorrow too. What you learn and what you do from this. If you come out and lay an egg against USC, now the doubters are coming out in spade, and you know that's true. But if you go toe-to-toe with USC or make it a respectable game, you are now competing against a Heisman Trophy winner, not candidate. You're competing against a legacy program on a primetime stage. This is where Colorado needs to bounce back. And here's the thing. I want Colorado to make a bowl game. I want the Pac-12 to have all these teams ranked because they're breaking up. How stupid are you? That said, that's really all I got to say about that. Oh, by the way, hey, Dabo Sweeney, that high step running onto the field pregame, that's not cutting it no more, bro. You got some Dunlap's disease with that belly jiggling around there, looking like Lizzo out here trying to run track and field, bro.
Yeah. Now you.
Oh, and shout out to the Gators primetime game tonight, taking on Charlotte. Sorry, AJ.
Don't. Yeah. Hey, look, we got our glory against Tennessee last week. I don't give a shit.
That was a good fucking game.
That is all I care about. Tennessee was upset,
and that's a rival, though, isn't it? That's their dog rival.
They took a volunteer.
Voluntary loss.
Yes, and that's what I love. But I want to go back to what you were saying, dude, because you're making perfect sense. No, I'm gonna judge either way. If they get smacked by USC, but the thing is, you gotta have certain realistic expectations. I think the problem is a lot of people are misconstruing Prime's his confidence with they're putting words in. He never said I'm gonna smack everybody across the fucking board. He never said that. If you look at it this week, he hardly talked about it. I honestly think deep in his heart he knew we're gonna get our ass kicked. I don't think they thought they was gonna kick their ass kicked this bad, but I know that he knew This is a better team. USC, better team. These guys are better. So you're supposed to be USC should wash Colorado.
Well, and the thing is, I understand. I also, like we were chatting earlier, I also get the coach's perspective from Oregon. And by the way, we can't say that this coach got handed a team and that's the only reason they're good. Dude, in case you didn't realize, University of Georgia Bulldogs defense has been dominant for how long? And he's their defensive coordinator 2 championships in a row. So give him his flowers, show him respect.
He didn't earn the job. I'm just saying it's a little bit different going into a roster with 10 when you've got 10 wins as your last thing. And
absolutely, he got a team with better talent, but let's not also.
That's not even funny. He went for a team that was in the Pac-12 championship and a New Year's Six.
Right, absolutely. No, nobody's disputing that. But again, a new coaching staff on each team today. Mm-hmm. Okay, new system. Defensive-minded coach putting up 42. Probably a Heisman candidate with Bo Nix at quarterback if he continues. Although if you look at his numbers today, they're less than his game average for his career. So Oregon's a stacked program. Colorado can be a stacked program. I guess what people like that coach and the one perspective is, Dion, you won 3 games in Division I football. Take your sunglasses off during the fucking press conference, bro.
I'm okay with it.
I want to ask you this and keep it a buck, and both of y'all can chime in. Let me ask you this, dude. Do you think that coach at Oregon can do the shit that Prime did? Switch. Do you think anybody would
I don't want to play any what ifs.
What do you think has more pressure? Living up to the expectation of a 10-win team with the talent that was handed you, or building a program with 86 new people?
I'll tell you what, there's an argument for both, and I don't think either of them are going to answer it. My
point, dude, I want to say is, though, Prime is doing a lot. This organization is already 2 games over than what they were last season. We're not saying that. We're proud of the fact that he came in and he's doing it and he's inspiring these kids. All these other people out here, if you are so pissed off because somebody's talking like that, then you got the problem. When I played the game, and even if I
and that's fine. That the Oregon coach did have the problem, and look what he did.
Yeah,
he used his problem to what you were just saying, inspire his kids to play at that level today.
No problem with what he said. I've got no problem with it because I saw the context in what it was said. When I saw the headline, I was like, oh God, another coach that's trying to go toe to toe. And then I actually watched the video and I'm like, oh, he's just like telling his kids that. And coach can do that.
Exactly. And if you remember after last week's game, some of the ESPN guys, and this is mostly ESPN's fault, so we could get into that down the road too if you want. Most of the ESPN guys said, well, I bet you there ain't going to be a coach that talks no smack to Dion this week or anymore. And there was, and he did, and he put a 42 up and held you to 30 yards of offense in the first half.
Oh, absolutely. Only thing I'm going to say to that dude is, if let's see that shit happen when Prime next season can get more 5-star players. Let's see when the fields are evened out more, what can you do? Because that's
like I said, I think if he keeps his current philosophy that it's what is next and what people are doing in college football now anyway, he totally took advantage of the transfer portal. Me personally don't care for the transfer portal. That's my thing. But then again, for a State fan, we're one of the best teams in the transfer portal. Go look at it, bro. Mm-hmm. We brought people from Georgia's backup bench and put them in the NFL first round.
Where was Bo Nix? That boy, Oregon's boy? No, he transferred from fucking Auburn.
Yeah, I'm saying most of these guys.
But that's football now.
Yeah.
We have to accept it.
Right. I'm just saying I don't like it because I think here's what I'm saying. Why spend money recruiting? Let everybody else do it and just transfer portal the crap out of it every offseason.
That's what they're saying. They're saying now.
This is why Alabama's not contending. They don't have 14 starting quarterbacks on their roster.
Good.
No, because they can't anymore because
I want them to suffer.
Somewhere else.
Nobody wants to sit for 3 years to play for 1 year when they can go play all 4 years at Oregon or Oregon State or Cal or Stanford. And why would you?
Dude, you're absolutely right. And that's why I say this is going to inspire kids from high school to say, wow, this team can be good if I bring my ass here. This is good because we saw it, dude. We got to keep it real. Colorado, that left tackle, I was about to call CPS because I saw child abuse out there. He had his way with him. I was like, poor thing. And I get it, but this is why if Deep Prime, which I know he will, if he does this right, they're gonna say, yo, we can come here. And like you just said, dude, who the fuck wants to play at a big school? Because I said it earlier, the Slick. Who wants to go to a big name school all of a sudden, but you don't get no opportunity? That's like, dude, you could be like the number one defensive guy.
And then you'll leave next week. You leave because you can go to the transfer portal.
Right, Alabama wants you, but they're gonna say, but dude, in my opinion, I think you should sit a season. And next thing you know, you get a call from Oregon or Colorado. Hey, dude, get your ass over here. You're gonna start. And NFL people are already gonna look at you because I already talked about you. I know where you're gonna go. You're gonna go where your opportunity is.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, I'll put it this way. The past 10 years has pretty much been Alabama and Clemson. Is that fair?
Yep. That's
okay.
fair.
Absolutely.
It's not weird. It's not weird after 2 or 3 years of the transfer portal sinking in, teams learning how to use it, that these teams, Clemson and Alabama, who were stockpiling talent, just sitting there on the bench getting cobwebs, are starting not to be dominant because they don't have. Think about it this way. Tua and Hurts and all those guys, did they finish in Alabama?
Nope.
Right. They went on to other schools, big name schools.
Yep.
So this is going to even the playing field. Colorado is benefiting from that because I'll be honest with you, a lot of these teams in the Pac-12 are still on you got to recruit and win recruiting to win games. And it's changing. It's the transfer portal. The Seminoles have been mediocre in recruiting the past 3 years with Norvell, but they've been dominant in the transfer portal. And look at them.
Can you say that one more time about the Seminoles being mediocre? I didn't hear you. I heard
The Seminoles being what?
Mediocre. Say it again.
Oh, mediocre in recruiting? Absolutely.
Yes. That brings.
But here's the thing: who wants to have a kid who's probably not going to play for at least 2 years? Before, like, he's going to be in his sophomore, maybe his junior year before he's going to get his chops. When you can just go and get a guy who's already done something, right? You can look at a guy and went, this guy's been here and he's done a few flashes.
I mean, you realize Florida State's quarterback came from the transfer portal, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. But everyone's quarterbacks come from the transfer portal these days. It's nothing new now. Give it 10 years, no one will have an original quarterback.
It's like the fucking NFL free agency. You're literally out there just saying, boom, here we go. But I want to, and I'm glad, and I want to bring this up about Colorado. Since we're talking about our beloved Bucs, we're going to get to them. Colorado is being looked upon the way the Bucs are this past season.
That's fair.
Look at it like this, dude. Nobody expected the Bucs to beat the Vikings and the Bears, and when we did it, all we hear is bullshit excuses. When we beat the Vikings, Kirk Cousins was turning the ball over.
We're good now. We're all of a sudden good. Colorado changed my heart. Really good for Baker.
We're getting a little props, but with this is still when we beat the Bears. What were they talking about? Justin Fields was messing up, not realizing the Bucs sacked him 6 times, picked him off twice. Baker was doing the damn thing. Evans was cooking, but look, if the Bucs beat the Eagles, then we're going to be the darlings. But if we lose, then it's going to be just what we thought. And God forbid the Bucs can't get blown up, because then it's going to be like, see, the Bucs weren't ready. That's the way that I feel about Colorado and the Bucs. You're overlooking them because of narratives of what you like and what fits for people. With Prime, the thing is, a lot of the coaches around the league don't like the fact that he took the attention away because of who he is, and they're saying, "Oh, it's fucking with our program," despite it's not.
Who the fuck is this guy on his 1-11 team coming here talking all this shit? We're powerhouse team. We established this league, yeah. So they don't like it, of course not. And it goes to huge point. He said a lot of pressure on a guy who goes to a team that's a perennial winner, I suppose you could say, and then there's a different type of pressure on a guy who is there's no pressure, so to speak, on a guy whose team went 1-11, but it's a different type. I'd say one of them is coaching with your hand tied behind your back. The other one is coaching with somebody looking right inside your back.
And now you also have to look at it, and you got to be real both ways. And again, like I said, he's turned this program around just by what he's done right now.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer. Okay, but 4 games in, 3-1. 2 of the teams he beats have losing records. The other one is TCU, which was vastly overrated. If you look at the championship team they had and who they lost and what they are, that was a preseason rankings are BS. I think we all know that. Hell, I don't think the Seminoles are number 4. I think the Seminoles are 11, 12, 13 at best.
Ooh, dude, you better not give them your location.
Dude, I'm right here in Tallahassee, Florida, in the shadow of Doak Campbell Stadium, mofo. Come get some.
Shit. Hey, y'all, dude is real. Because the way I got on Twitter and Florida State fans, we should be number 2 and number 1. I'm like, I don't know about all that.
They're sensitive. They're sensitive.
I love your honesty, dude. That's real.
In fact, I think we should go down 1. That was not a win. That was not. We were so close to losing that game. That was a game that we should have won a little bit more convincingly.
I agree.
And what really sucks is today was a big win for Florida State, right?
Yes, it was.
But that's an unranked Clemson team that's already got 1 loss, and it's week 4 of the season. So it's not like they're going to move up based on that.
Right.
Seminoles are going to struggle against the Hurricanes and the Gators. There's no doubt they always do. They always will.
Sorry, the Canes have only played teams that are fucking cupcakes. They have not.
No. They beat Texas A&M. They're ranked.
But I love
they're ranked playing cupcake though. All they've done is eaten lots of cupcakes, and they're really tasty.
I could say the same thing about Colorado.
But you know what? That's
they're not ranked anymore. Let's face it, they will not be ranked after tomorrow.
I love that you're saying that, dude, because again, this goes back to the Bucs. You were talking about TCU. TCU was still ranked, just like when the Bucs beat the Vikings. This is the same team that people were slurping up saying they're a 13-win team. But me and Slick brilliantly said, you do realize a lot of their team is gone. Dalvin Cook is fucking left. We know who Kirk Cousins is, but the people were still doubting us. And then when the results happened, then all of a sudden, well, the Vikings are not as good as we thought. We were like, we told you
now. Apparently the Vikings are tanking. So I'm hearing.
Right. Well, you got to realize the national media had correspondence in Tampa 24/7 during the 3 years Brady was here. Before that, and obviously after that, they don't pay attention to the Bucs. The Bucs are the other team on the screen we're talking about.
You are right.
And that's how it goes. And as a Bucs fan, that shit's like a duck water on a duck's back. Did you hear that? Colorado, a duck's back. It means nothing right now.
Dude,
I'm used to it. I'm used to the disrespect. Now,
the Ducks will have a new uniform.
Well, dude, I mean,
for them to lose, they'll get to the playoffs and they'll fucking get shellacked.
Exactly. Now, if I'm Oregon,
but no one's ever
impressed me. Oregon, don't lose the rest of the fucking season. Right. I don't want to hear them lose the rest of the fucking season. Now, a lot of people, this ain't me saying fuck Oregon because look. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Oregon got the best.
I fucking like Oregon.
I love Oregon. Their fucking helmets and their outfits.
They out here looking like an overblown Subway commercial, man. Get out of here.
Hey, they eating fresh today.
I'm not fan of that. That Donald Duck.
It's Nike. The town, the university is Nike's headquarters, bro. Yep. I mean, if you go to Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah,
literally, there's Nike logos on everything, even if it ain't Nike.
Damn,
you feel me?
I feel you, man.
Look at their facilities, dude. That field was immaculate.
Oh, absolutely.
That stadium is beautiful. The grounds are beautiful. There's so much money there; it's ridiculous. That said,
I'd like to point out to that though.
What's that?
They've on grass. They they won on turf.
Exactly.
And the thing with Oregon is, like you said, they get to the big game, the playoffs or the rivalry, and they crap themselves.
They pull a Kirk Cousins, Tony Romo.
Which is why. Wait for it. I can't call them a powerhouse.
Oh, hey! I'm just going
on a regular basis.
On paper, they're a powerhouse. On paper, we're talking about nationally, and we know it's bullshit, but we're just saying. When you have the kind of talent that they still have, that's all we're saying. Now, we're not saying that they're SEC-esque energy. Absolutely not. We know better. Everybody know SEC is literally junior NFL. That shit, you can be a sorry son of a bitch and be on an Alabama team.
Hey, you want a trivia question?
What's up?
Because there's been a lot that come out of Oregon, a lot that have won the Heisman and all that stuff. Name me the last successful NFL quarterback to graduate from Oregon.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm gonna add this. What do you define as successful?
A playoff victory.
Marcus Mariota.
Nope.
He won a playoff.
I thought Mariota played for who?
He won a playoff. He did that one when he threw a ball, it rebounded, and he ran it into the end zone, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Tom Brady could never do that."
That was a playoff game?
Yes.
Against who?
With who? What team?
Hang on, I'll look it up now.
I'm looking it up too. I ain't never thought Mariota won a playoff game.
Okay, I'll rephrase the question. Name me a quarterback from Oregon that has been a top 10 quarterback in the league for an entire season.
I'm gonna say never.
Never.
I got a name that'll blow your mind.
What?
Dan Fouts.
Wow.
Eric Coryell.
Yeah. Hey,
that's 70s, bro.
I that's what I'm saying. You just took it back to fucking disco era. Like, wait a minute. Wasn't Jimmy Carter in office? Wasn't Jimmy Carter in office when that shit happened?
That would have been most likely Reagan, but yeah, it was a weird time though.
The 70s were a weird time.
I'm honestly surprised you don't remember it.
No, but you're right. And that's what I'm saying. You're right. No, we know this. So this is if I'm Prime right now, the only way that you can do now is go back to the drawing board, figure out what went wrong, and see what you can do.
Okay. They beat they went 9-7 with Mike Malarkey, if that's how you pronounce his fucking name, and they won their wildcard game 21-2 against the Chiefs in 2017.
Oh, when the Chiefs were still like blossoming.
Okay, top 10 quarterback, the top 10 in the league. Then the point being is we can all agree. Was Mario the second pick?
Quits on teams.
Okay, so I'll rephrase it again then. Mariota was the second pick. Can we agree he was a bust?
Oh, big time bust.
Okay,
pimple bust.
Who's a bust? Mariota.
So is Joey Harrington and Achilles Smith, and the list goes on and on from Oregon, bro.
Joey Harrington. Ooh, that's a throwback. Nasty. That's a rash. Ooh.
Dude, Achilles Smith was on the cover of NCAA football, bro.
I know that shit is crazy. That's why I think that's why I cannot stand when people remember Slick when we were talking about that bullshit when they thought the Bucs would tank for Caleb. We're not about to fucking. You're still guessing. You're
talking about a certain person who's fucking obsessed with Caleb Williams. That's why.
You have to.
That fucking dude will fucking put his dick on the fucking table and smash him with a fucking mallet if it meant getting fucking Caleb Williams.
Exactly. You have to
see the fucking proof in the fucking pudding.
Facts, and that's how I feel. You have to show
with anyone. All right. Yep. Since I've watched football, there are only 2 quarterbacks who are ranked top 5 draft picks that have actually gone to a Super Bowl. I think Cam might be one of them. I'm not entirely sure where he got drafted.
I think he was drafted.
I think he's late.
I think Cam got drafted in the later rounds because he was in the 2011 draft because that's the draft that Cameron Jordan's punk ass came out in and Von Miller.
Now, honorable mention real quick so I don't get hammered too much on social media like I give a shit. Justin Herbert is from Oregon too, but he's yet to be totally figured out.
Is like the fucking ultimate. He is Oregon all the way through. Fucking great in the fucking regular season, just not quite good enough.
Well, and I think their coach is a problem there too, to be honest.
If you were to sniff him, he smells of fucking green and fucking yellow. Just can't do the fucking job. Can't do it. He's not made for it. Him and that fucking those locks. He's a pretty boy. I give him his due. Bless him with his little dots on his face. Fucking hell, that dude ain't gonna win shit. But it is literally the same as the last quarterback they drafted. Fucking Rivers.
Hey,
he could do shit.
It is what it is on that. But hey, guys, you know what? I got my
little rule.
Yep, and I got my rant out about college and Prime. Hey, shout out to Oregon. They got that fucking win. That was a step. That was a piece to A-Town ass whooping. They gave him a good old fashioned ass beating. Good for you. I hope you guys go. Hey, shut me up and go perfect season. Prime in Colorado, go back to the fucking drawing board and get it right. But I still believe in you, Prime. But let's get to the real team right now. The Bucs, baby. The Bucs go against the Eagles Monday.
It only took 40 minutes.
And look, look, that's how good Prime is. Prime is so good where we gotta say, hold on, we gotta put a segment on for you. So
we need to get my mom, right?
So Prime, anybody, I hope y'all watch this shit because look, you got a coach right here in Slick. Slick can get that defense right. And
I'll fucking get that baby humming. I only need to be assistant to the fucking safeties coach. I'm ready to fucking bowl, baby.
I want to be a running backs coach. I'm gonna have his running backs. This is my thing. I don't need to see if I see y'all do any of this shit, you benched. What you want me to do, coach? I want you to put your shoulder through that defender's fucking chest. I don't want to see you dancing. I don't do saute. You want some saute? Take your ass to a salsa class. You running through people. I'm gonna get Frank Gore, Marshawn Lynch-esque motherfuckers. I want those people to run through, and you're gonna block. You're gonna learn how to block. You're gonna. Yep. There's 3 guys I'm gonna have them watch. First one is Sweetness because he did it all. Marshall Faulk, and then I'm gonna make you watch between Frank Gore and Earl Campbell on how to truck the proper way, because there's an art to trucking. You don't just throw your body out there. You got to know where to impact.
You missed out. Buccaneer, great.
Oh, Mike Allstott, yeah. But only reason I left him out.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I love Allstott, but everybody's not. Allstott is a fucking tank. That's a 6 foot.
Oh yeah.
If you're not naturally built that way, yeah, he's a freak of nature. I've seen him in person. That's a big ass dude. Nice guy too. Nice guy.
He does not seem what you expect from a guy who's that nasty on the field.
He's a jolly giant, a nice ass person. Nice, very nice. And then I've like people who I've talked to that met him, they said he was such a cool guy. Such a cool guy. But let's go about this Bucs game, because again, this is perfect. The Bucs are the Colorado of the NFL. The Bucs are getting a little respect, but they're still being doubted. But remember, your Bucs team was doubted from the beginning. Now all of a sudden, Baker's actually good. We told you that Baker was good. Slick is my witness. I told y'all bootlegs and rollouts would get this offense humming. I told you he's on the team.
I don't think I was as big as you on the train, because I'm a big emitter where I'm wrong and what have you. I always said that I think he can do well, but you were like, nah, I fucking believe in this dude. So I'm not going to get any credit, because you were like, nah, bootlegs, this, that. He's accurate. He'll be accurate. He'll put the ball where it needs to be. And so far, that's what we've seen. So kudos to you. I agree with you, but I didn't say what you said. So I wasn't getting credit.
And Slick, I say that is because I saw him in Cleveland and I knew what he could do. Put it this way. What they thought he would do in Cleveland, he's doing in Tampa, because he actually has real fucking talent.
I think he believes in the people around him too. Yes, I think the belief of this Super Bowl team that's been there, and this is why I don't want to fucking piss away a season. And I'm going to say this, like all these people who keep talking about like, oh, but if we just suck, we could get like Caleb Williams or whoever, whatever the fuck quarterback's name, it doesn't matter. I'm going to say it now. This team will not be the same psyche, because you've destroyed it. You've destroyed it because they no longer believe in the organization. They no longer believe in the coaches who are there going, yeah, well, things aren't going our way, so we're just going to tank and see if we can get this really good quarterback and maybe he can change some things. Then he's got to go into a team that's defeated because they just fucking tanked to get him and go, hey, boys, let's go fucking win some games. They're going to be like, oh, fuck off. I would.
I'm glad you said that, Slick, because you know what, Coach, they did that too? 2 of them, actually. They did that shit with Raheem and Shiano. When you come in there with that, like you said, piss poor mentality, your attitude reflects leadership. If your coach is pissing it away, they're going to piss it away. Like you said, why the fuck? It's like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't take a coach serious and, hey, guys, I want you to tank for this guy that we don't even fucking know that is actually going to be something. And matter of fact, we don't even know if we can actually get him. So let's say this, Bucs fans, the Bucs decided to tank for Caleb Williams. And then all of a sudden, another team.
Which AJ, you're a ball player. I'm going to put you in the world now. You're a running back. Let's say you're third string, for the sake of argument, third or second string. The Bucs tanking, you know they're tanking. You know that the organization's tanking, you know the coaches are organized. Do you want to stay in that team?
Fuck no, I'm getting the hell out as soon as I can. As soon as I can.
Thank you. Do you think Levante David's going to stay around for a team that?
Hell no, no, and that shit follows. These players can talk to people too. They can tell other organizations.
I watched a brilliant thing with Steve Smith, and it was an interview with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah,
and he asked him, "What were the days like when you lost?" He went, "I fucking hate losing because losing is so hard to get out of. It's like losing is like being his." And the analogy is great because it's so fucking true. Losing is like going into the smoking shower or the smoking room where everyone's smoking and they're all smoking and you can't get that fucking stink off you. That's losing. You can't get it off you because it's ingrained in you. It's in the fucking fabric of your clothes. You have to wash everything. You have to start from fucking new.
That's right.
And that's what he was saying, what the Panthers did, and they built it and built it and built it. But he just wasn't ready. He was not in the frame of mind of wanting to be part of a rebuild. He was like, no, I'm in the twilight years of my career. I want to see if I can chase something, which is fair enough. I don't blame for it. But it's so right in the sense of, like, people like Levante David, they've been in losing situations from year in, year in, year out. Tom Brady was the breath of fresh air. He was the one who went, and all the stink went away. All the stink went away. The moment you start losing purposely, people start thinking they're losers.
Yes.
And I don't care what anyone says, well, they should never think like that. It's not about how they think. It's psychological. When you're used to using, you become conditioned to losing. When you become conditioned to losing, you accept the losses. And it's not going to happen.
No, you're right, Slick. You're absolutely right. And that's where that's unfortunately where you get paycheck players who don't give a shit. When you get paycheck players who don't give a damn, that is what's going to happen to your organization. You're going to implode. That's where you enter the dark years. Buck fans, we know this. We've been there before under the Schiano regime, where we just didn't know what direction we go. When you do that to your teammates, now all of a sudden it's a slap in the face to the fans. You're basically telling fans, we don't know what the hell we're doing, but keep paying, keep buying. If I'm a fan, why the hell would I want to be involved with that, Buck fans? I'm telling you right now, the Bucs are not gonna tank for anything, and that's why Baker. Like I said, Baker is on a team that actually gives a damn. The Browns didn't give a damn. They were more pressed about clickbait. OBJ is not Mike Evans, guys. We can see that already. His stats proves it. Jarvis Landry. I told people this, Slick, and now people owe me an apology. Now
he's got him. I'm a huge fan of Jarvis Landry. Huge fan of Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
I have no problem with him at all. Because I think he was the more humble one out of the two, which is always good. He's a bit of a loudmouth, but he's not OBJ loudmouth.
No.
Thing I like about Mike, he gets with Mike Evans that he didn't have, is Mike Evans might not get targets, and Mike Evans isn't going to pout at all. He's just going to be like, that's the rub of the green. I wasn't open. And yeah, maybe they sit down and they look at each other and they look at the tape and they go, dude, I was open. And he's like, sorry, the reads of this, and this, and I just didn't see you, bro. Mike will be like, don't worry, we still won the fucking game. Don't get me wrong, if you're being consistently missed and you're losing, I think that's when a bit of frustration comes in, and I can understand it. The Browns were never losing on a disastrous scale until the last.
They were not. And OBJ just wanted to continue the stardom IG honey mentality.
Right.
One-man man like he did in New York, but no. And I like Landry, but Landry was good, but he's not Godwin or Evans. That was my I'd
put him on par with it. I'd put him on par with Godwin. I wouldn't put him on par with Mike.
Maybe. And that's still a
maybe. The amount of 1,000-yard seasons he's had.
Right. But even with that, Kitchens didn't know what the hell he was doing. A lot of things.
Freddie Kitchens was a disaster hire.
Exactly.
Why would you hire a guy who's never called plays, even in high school, to be your head coach? Like, people are looking at the Buccaneers going, why are they picking a guy who's never called plays before? Well, you got to call plays at some point. I mean, the prerequisite is if you're only going to hire guys who've been offensive coordinators, you're never going to get that emerging guy. You're never going to get it because you're going to have a guy who's just jumped around, right? This is why people like McVay and these other guys, McDaniels in Miami, They've had shots because they were they were like the running backs coach, or they were most of the time it's the quarterbacks coach, right? Because that's the one that really quarterbacks coach or wide receivers coach. They're the one passing game, right? They're the ones that everyone's like, oh yeah, this guy's fucking good, and they spend so much time with the offensive coordinator, so they know what gets called, and they may go preseason, you're calling the plays, so you get some preseason. I don't know that, like, as much as the NFL's pushing that Dave Canales has never called anything, I'm pretty sure he's called preseason games for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, exactly. So you just said it. Experience. And Slick and I have talked about this a lot, Buck fans. Coaching can really mess with your players. It can make and break some careers. Look at Byron. We already know. We can talk about we've done that. I'm the president of Get Byron the fuck out of here. Trust me. I know
president right there.
Get him out. So Baker, they gave up on Baker, and then when he went to Carolina, a lot of people, including myself, I had to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute, that is a shitty team. And then when he went to the Rams, he you know, but don't get me wrong, Baker needed some humility because he needed to understand your ego can't surpass the team. And when he got to the Rams, I think he understood, okay, this is my one shot. And like you said, he's with Evans and them. He's with a team with Canales saying, I believe in you. We're going to play to your strengths, not your weaknesses. That's why Geno Smith had the year he had. It's
just live football. You don't need to be the fucking superstar. How many times, and you can see that that's ingrained in him, because I've been frustrated a few times, and I know this is for the greater good, but at the same time, I'm also like, it's a bit like you with cushion coverage. I know there's a method to it, but when I see him throwing short of the sticks, I'm like, fucking just throw to the fucking call a play where people are above the sticks, and you might have one or two guys under the sticks or a guy under the sticks, and he always goes to the guy under the sticks, and sometimes he gets tackled short, and I'm like, oh fuck. But it's all about, this offense is all about what the defense will give you, because it will give you stuff. We know that defenses can't protect every blade of grass. It's impossible. On some plays they can, not every play. I always say when people get really upset when a quarterback misses an open wide receiver, I'll always say, look at every single fucking football play, and you will see a wide receiver open somewhere. It's where they're looking. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Oh, number 4 is wide open. Bam, I got hit. Or bam, I just chucked the ball away. It's too late. There's more to the world of quarterback, is that processing information of 1, 2, 3, 4, dump off.
Yeah. And if you don't have a good line, you're fucked. If you don't have a good line, I think people don't realize your line, you're going against guys where your average, I think the average seconds in football is 3 seconds. You have to process all those routes in 3 seconds. And if your line is crap.
AJ, let's do this. Look left to right. 1, 2, 3. You got to throw a ball.
Oh, no,
it looks simple. We think it's because we all throw a ball to each other, right? We're at the park. And we're like, here you go, AJ. And AJ goes, and then he goes, there you go, Slick. And we're just throwing. We're like, fuck yeah, we're dudes. Or you might throw me on a bit of a fade. You might throw me on a bit of a slant. And we're having a fucking bit of fun. And we're like, yeah, we can fucking play ball. Nah, dude, there's way too much. You got fucking 4 guys plus, if they're not blitzing, who want to eat your fucking soul, because their entire sole purpose to make money, it's not the tackles for a loss, is the sacks. It's all about the sacks.
And God forbid you are 1 second off. Like you just said, look to the left or look to the right. And you're in this
you stand that wide receiver off just that little bit too long. Boom.
And people don't realize when you get tackled off guard and your body's standing up, you put so much at risk. That's why when those guys get hit, I commend them when they get up. I'm like, you don't realize that man just took a hit. Yeah, he just took a hit.
He just dropped to the floor. As soon as he felt someone touch him, he was like, fuck it, I'm going down.
Yeah. I just tell people, you don't realize these guys are how conditioned they are. Your average Joe, if John Randall at his time hits you and you never played, he might kill you. Yeah, he might kill you.
My soul would leave my body and re-enter it at some point.
Right, and say, what happened? So that's what we're saying, guys. The Bucs were misunderstood for a long time, especially this season, but now they are tested. Because I know you guys are like, well, when y'all gonna get to the Eagles? We getting there. Hold your low, Buck fans. The Eagles, we're here now. The Eagles, both teams are undefeated. Now, I'm gonna go with this. I tell people this. What the reason why, and if you check out my video on This About Bucking Time, I told you guys and on AJ Turnip on TikTok why I think the Bucs have an edge. The Bucs, I think, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Slick. The Bucs offensively are ahead of schedule than the Eagles. The Eagles are sputtering, and the Bucs have a defense that can make you pay for that sputter. The Patriots,
the natural fuck up having a true duel, because we got a guy who can occasionally leave the pocket and do a thing, right?
That's right.
They have a guy who's a true dual threat quarterback, right?
Yes.
So the issue is when the going gets tough, motherfucker leaves the pocket.
He's gonna run.
Right. And the one thing you see from NFL rookies when they come, especially with their dual threats, is their first instinct is to just, I'll get what I can from leaving the pocket and running. It feels like the Eagles quarterback right now is playing like that. He is not comfortable with what he's getting or what he's seeing or whatever. Something is not right with him. He's got two really good. He got Devontae Smith and he's got Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got AJ Brown. Zach Ertz is a decent dude, and they got good running backs, especially a good pass catcher too. They should really be more ahead of schedule than anyone in the NFC, other than maybe the Niners.
I agree.
Their team is not far removed from what they did in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They're not that far removed from what they did last season.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we are. We're a quarterback away, where our O-line is vastly changed from at least our right tackle is our left tackle. Big shout out to our left tackle, who is going to probably command a huge paycheck because
blank. I'm ready for that blank check.
Mm-hmm. It's going to have to be.
It's going to be blank. That's just going to be blank. But you're right. Mock is our new guard. We've been shuffling, but yes, the thing is, I think a lot of people don't realize we said this already. It's like that Bucs defense is nothing to be played with. That's a top 5 defense.
We said this coming into it. What your words, and I will quote the great AJ. The offense just needs to be what?
Average. And that's
average.
what we're
over 20 points. The Buccaneers have done that so far. That's all they need to do. The offense just needs to keep them under 20 points. It's simple math. Let them score less than you can score. Now, we know that there will be teams that are powerhouses, that have really good offenses that we will struggle with. And that's when we'll decide, that's when the offense has to go, right, enough's enough. We got to do something too to help our defense out.
That's right. And that's why I was telling people this Bucs defense, though, is going to put a lot of pressure on Hurts. As you said, Hurts is not seeing it. Now, I forgot the coordinator did leave. So that does leave a big gaping hole than what a lot of people want to admit with the Eagles. And you're talking about
did they hire in-house or did they hire out-of-house?
I think they hired in-house. Don't quote me on that, guys.
Hire in-house, genuinely, the play calling shouldn't be too dissimilar because it's like it's your coaching tree, right? You know, anyone who's with Monty Kiffin, for the sake of argument, they've all gone on to do, let's face it, cover 2, Tampa 2, right? Yeah. Tomlin does a lot of Tampa 2. And the guy who was at Chicago Bears, I can't remember his name. Sorry?
Lovie Smith?
Yeah, Lovie Smith. And I know Coach Hardy did it too when he was in Illinois.
Herm Edwards.
Yeah, exactly. So it's when you're around that, you tend to kind of echo it.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I don't care what anyone says, Lovie Smith is a good defensive coordinator. He probably just isn't a very good head coach.
No, and he is a very good coordinator. And also, he
just the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, and he didn't have the squad. People don't realize when he got to the defense with the Bears, even they had a legit defense. Their defense was solid. Their offensive side, they couldn't get it together. But
went against the half fucking Peyton Manning on it. I mean,
Exactly. Now, and like you said with the Hurt situation, we said this before, guys, because a lot of people thought we were hating before. I said, no, we're not hating. We just know what good quarterback play is. If Hurts decides to be a running back more than a quarterback with this defense, it's going to hurt
familiar
you.
with him. We're familiar with how he plays. This ain't the first time we come up against them and we dicked them. Now, they are way better than they were the last time we played, for sure. They have way more talent on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball. However, we have there's a feeling of familiarity with a fair few of the players.
Yep.
They know what some of the players can do, and then hopefully they're dialing into the tape and Night for Life or Knife for Life.
I'm glad you saw that. They do. They sure do. But I'm gonna tell you something. Not like you know what they're gonna try to do, and I think they're gonna do it early. They're gonna try to establish the run. What is the main thing Bowles does? His main thing is to stop the run. Swift is not getting 175 yards. I'm guaranteeing you this, my man Knight. The Bucs. I wouldn't be surprised early if they load that box and say, okay, Hurts, let's see if you can throw this fucking ball. Swift, you're not getting shit. And remember, they have to, Slick just said it, they're familiar with this Bucs team. They know Vita Vea. You have to double him. Now, Kancey, I think, is out. But even with that, if JTS keeps that same energy that he just did in Chicago, and Shaq Barrett is who he is, it's going to be a long day. Levante and Devin are going to cover the flats, and they're going to cover the middle of the field. Antoine Winfield, we already know. Enough said.
Don't cover the flats. That's too far. Make them cover the hook seam curl stretch to the flats when needed. So you have flat dropper, and when there's no immediate flat threat, they can keep pushing up.
Well, there you go. See, Slick. See, that's why
the brain's going.
The defensive man, but that's my thing. The Bucs. I tell people, the Bucs. What makes their defense unique? They have players that can do things that other defenses can't. As a unit, singly, like particular, these players each are individualistically good themselves. Devin is a speedster guy, and he's a play action maker. Devontae David is a thinker.
So much shit he will fucking tell that running back that he's nothing. Levante David just tackles him, gets up, and probably cheers himself and enjoys it. But Devin White will talk some shit. Devin White, again, come on, get more than 2 yards, bitch.
Exactly. And Carlton will dig. Antoine Winfield is a Levante. I'm gonna hit you and get up and do my own thing. But that's what we're saying.
That guy flies, man. I mean, fuck. I have not seen a safety play the way he does since Cam Chancellor. Just the way he's constantly flying around. Even if he's not involved, he's usually his body's like that.
I agree.
His legs are here, but his body's like his arms are here.
What makes him genius? He doesn't always have to get an interception. For him, I'm gonna knock the fucking ball out. Yeah, I love players like that.
Knocking the ball out, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you. Oh, and thank you. I love that you said this. I love that. That is a weak link. No, they're not gonna throw 50 times, and here's why. They're gonna establish that run. We don't want Baker to do more than what he has to. That's why the Bucs offense is working the way it is. To be real, the Bucs offensively have been what I said, average. They don't have to be above average. That's it, because you're not putting pressure on Baker. I do think they're going to establish the run. Again, remember, Bucs fans, do not expect the Bucs to be putting up 30 to 40 points. That's not how this offense is. It's a body shot haymaker. They're going to run it down because here's the thing. Now, if the Eagles start getting nervous and load the box, then Baker can have his way. Then he can do this. But here's a scary thing. It's like, what if this is the night that Rashad actually goes off? I'll tell you this. If Rashad White gets over 100 yards, the Bucs will blow them out. I don't have them blowing the Eagles out, but if they can, let's say Rashad White finished the game with 117 yards, the Bucs will blow them out because now the Eagles are going to be so hell-bent on stopping the bleeding and the run. That's when the rollouts and play actions will come out. Trey Palmer is going to kill, not Mike Evans, Palmer, because his speed is going to be devastating.
Put Trey Palmer in a crossing route on play action.
Absolutely. Or you can
I'd go the other, and then just to offset it, I'd have Cade Otton on the other side from the tight end position, run the under.
Exactly. Yeah, the under shallow crossing route. Exactly. Now, but with Palmer's speed.
So you got that he's got the ball.
Yep.
Turn around. That's not there. Cross body.
Oh, and here's another thing that can deflate this Eagles defense. What if they think they're going to get a sack on Baker, and he gets out the way and maneuvers it, and he runs an extra 6 yards? Now, instead of a 3rd and 12, it's a 3rd and 4. That's going to deflate your defense too. And Buck fans, we're not here saying that the Bucs are going to play a perfect game. So I want y'all to listen to the aftermath on 102.9, the game Broad Street South. Slick and I are not telling you the Bucs are going to walk away with this. We're speaking on.
We don't even think they're going to 100% win this game, but what we do know is this Buccaneer team's competitive, and they've got an opportunity to win. And I think, like AJ said in the last one that we did, this is the best time to face the Eagles. They're not that good offensively right now. Yeah, they could turn it up. We don't know. But what I do believe is this Buccaneers team is more than ready right now. They had the Bears game was probably the perfect situation because they played against a team that isn't that great, and that allows you to play with a few different things. Especially, can you imagine? Like, we got into the second quarter, we were quite quiet in the second half. We were quite quiet in the second half, and I think that was setting up other plays to see what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
What does this look like? What does that look like? How do we do this? How do we do that? How does that look like? What if we did this?
Mm-hmm.
Does it work?
Yeah.
And there are some ticks in this, and there's some ticks and there's some X's in there. And I think those ticks and X's, we all know that every team's different, but
yeah,
I honestly believe that the one thing I like about this Buccaneers team is the creativity.
yes.
It is so creative on the offensive side of the ball. It is insane. And it complements the defense. We're having long drives, guys. Long fucking drives. We're not flashing the pan, bam, 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 touchdown. It is first down, or second down, third down conversion, and we're taking 4 minutes to get up the field. That infuriates a team because you're looking at the clock going, I ain't gonna have fucking time.
Right. The things that were happening to the Bucs on defense last year, we're doing this year. Slick said it. Like, now defense is like, fuck, I've been out here 6 minutes. We better make a play. Otherwise, the offense ain't going to have time. And then that's where they get their mind messed up. And that's where the big play happens. Shit, we messed up. We just gave up 6 points. Now the offense, who hasn't done shit, and their defense is healthy, the Bucs have the opportunity. I told you guys this. And Slick, historically speaking, I can tell you this. The Eagles are a second half season team. They've never been typically a great jump off start team. They come back and get you later on. They're the late November, December team. Yeah, the only time they've ever been an September and October team was during the TO days. And you see how long ago that's been. The Eagles have always been more so that late November, December, like, oh shit, they're still here. That's why I always said the Bucs caught the Eagles. That's why when the schedule came out, I said, yes, the Bucs are catching them at an early time. And again, Bucs Live has said this. Rick Hughes has said this. This Eagles defense doesn't necessarily still on paper don't know how we work. We are not Brady.
What are our tendencies? Because I don't know.
They don't know shit. I don't even know our tendencies yet.
We go along because we don't know yet. Because this is Dave Canales is his first time as an OC. He's figuring it out as he goes.
That's right.
And in some ways, you can see that as a disadvantage, but with everything, it's also the advantage. They don't know what you're going to call because there's no. You got 2 weeks worth of tendencies, and let's be honest, both games were vastly different.
Oh, amen.
In the first game, we were really poor in the first half, except for that last touchdown that we got to set it up and make it more respectable, and then finish off for the win. And I'd say if you took the second half and then the whole of the game, there's 5 bits there as well. I think the Buccaneers tried a few different things and just explored. There is nothing you can turn around and go, this team does this, this team does that, and this team does that.
You can't. You really can't.
What I can guarantee is Baker will potentially at times roll out. But that's football, dude.
That's everybody. And look, you know what their main objective is, and they have to, because this is the NFL. You have to go. This is the basic thing they're gonna say. We got to stop Mike Evans, and we can't let Chris Godwin go off. Not realizing, oh shit, Palmer has that 4.3 speed, if we fuck up one time,
Not-
Palmer's due to break out to get a 70-yard pass, a bomb, just because they're gonna underrate it. We just talked about it. K for Life said their secondary is weak. I would not be surprised. This is what I see what's gonna happen, Slick, and quote me on this. For whatever reason, I see Palmer getting a 40 to 50-yard bomb because they're gonna sleep on his speed. They're gonna be so hell bent on Mike Evans. And shout out to Mike Evans, because that Bears game showed them, oh wow, he can still be a super threat. So the Eagles are gonna immediately go, Evans, we have to take him out early. That's gonna leave Palmer, as you always say, that they gotta look for that weak link, that guy where they think, okay, I'm gonna bet $10 on this guy, and because of that, he's gonna get me $150 because they're not gonna see Palmer coming. This is the time where Palmer goes off.
The one that you turn around, Trey Palmer will go 50 yards, will get 70 yards and a touch and 2 touchdowns, and everyone will be like, "Nah, you're fucking mad." But when you get that bet, you look like a stud.
Right, Slick, I can't believe this. Slick got the script of the game. Exactly, and that's what we're saying, guys. This Eagles team, when I saw them play the Patriots, the way that happened, I was like, if the Patriots had a little more time, who knows what happens? The Patriots, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs almost followed a similar formula to how they were getting to Hurts. And Hurts is not 100% healthy. A lot of people don't realize that. He doesn't want a guy like Devin White to hit him. He wants Levante to hit him. Like you said, Levante hits you and get up. If Devin hits you, Devin wants to knock you on your ass and mess with you psychologically, where you go, yeah, but you won't run again.
More devastator when it comes to that. Levante
Right.
down, and you'll probably the only thing that Levante could do is, because he's a very much a roll tackler, so he tackles and then distributes his weight and rolls with it, which is a really good way of getting a guy down. Sometimes that can buckle the feet, and then sometimes you can sprain an ankle, that kind of crap. But generally, someone like Devin, they're looking to flatten you.
Right. They're looking to put you, they want you to.
They ain't looking to just. The thing I guess you get with Levante is he's incredibly good at corralling the ball and popping the ball out as he takes you down.
Yeah,
Like,
agree.
I've never seen anything so amazing. I tell you what, that's impressed me. Something I looked up the other day that shocked me about Deion Sanders. You know, he has 10 forced fumbles.
I didn't know you had 10. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he.
You know how many Darrell Reeves has got?
I think Darrell Reeves only got 4.
Yeah, that's mad considering the repertoire on
Yeah.
Sanders. He can't tackle. Like he can tackle good enough to get the ball out, but he just can't tackle.
Sanders was like, I'll tackle when I feel like it. It's the same equivalence to when people thought Shannon Sharp couldn't block. Shannon could fucking block. He just didn't have to because he was so
He didn't do it at the point in time.
he didn't need to, but if he needed to, he could. Because go back to him when he was in Baltimore. Oh, he was blocking. I ain't saying he was the best at it, but he did some blocks. But yes, again,
Known as the ultimate, I would say him and Gronk, I would say the ultimate like dual threat tight end. Can block and catch the ball at the same time. Like I'd say those are the best.
Oh no, those two. If anybody says anything else, like they don't
get blocking nobody on nothing. Kelsey ain't blocking nobody. I always get told he's a good blocker.
He's not.
Pass block.
He can't pass block, and he's not a good run blocker.
Because they never used him in max protection. Every time a fucking Kansas City fan turns around and go, oh, we had a really poor O-line in that Super Bowl. Turn around and go, yeah, you also had apparently the best blocking tight end in football. Why he was running routes and not protecting his dude? Because, you know, he loves him some Patrick Mahomes. Would never want to get his ass kicked up. But no, you didn't do that. Your offensive coordinator and your head coach, but your offensive line was good enough to allow your tight ends, your entire tight end complement, to go and catch passes. That's their choice.
That's their choice.
If we were fucking doing that and you were going max protect every time, like, oh, poor Mahomes, like he's on max protect and still sacking his ass. I would just go, yeah, their O-line was shit, and they were. But my point, that's my point. It's like I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, do something about it.
Exactly. If you want to change the narrative, make it happen.
There's so many things you can do to be more dynamic in your pass protection. Like, what is he really good at? Throwing off platform. Didn't make no fucking difference in the fucking Super Bowl.
No,
Hey, I tell you one thing though. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes can throw a fucking football and someone drop it and everyone's chugging their fucking dick off. Our boy can do exactly the same thing, throw off platform while he's midair. Someone catches the ball, takes it for a first down, and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's pretty good."
Well, again, that's all about the narratives. Baker got that bad rep, and that's just because he wasn't. When you don't live up to a certain expectations in one organization,
In the win, he's been.
Yeah,
I love everything about him because he feels so Bucs, underdog, shat on. No one gives a fuck about him, but we got him. He's our boy.
And the most important thing, misunderstood. Because again, Brady was misunderstood. That's why him coming to Tampa was a shocker. But the way that he filled that role,
he turned around and said, "It's oh, by the way, guys, just want everyone to know, it's not Belichick, it's me. Yeah, I'm the guy." And everyone went, "Brady's the guy." Because when he come here, it was like, "Yeah, well, yeah, no, he's going to the Buccaneers, and they're not going to be that good." And then we were a bit wishy-washy in that season. We won the Super Bowl, but we got it. We figured it out. We won the Super Bowl. It was all great.
It was all gravy.
It was all great. And then, to be honest, I've always said this: the Buccaneer seasons were ran in reverse. Our first season should have been our last. Got to the playoffs, scraped into the playoffs, lost. Second season, won the division, won a playoff game, lost. Final season with Brady, won a playoff game, went all the fucking way.
Look,
so weird.
That's why that will be a hell of a story, because the second season to me is the greatest mystery. Because the second season is the greatest mystery when he was there, because the Bucs we were just on clicking on all. So offensively, nobody wanted to see the Bucs. If you were to come out there,
which worst was,
yeah,
he went out and we were shit.
Yeah,
we were bullied on the offensive line, absolutely fucking bullied. And I remember saying to my wife, I was like, Tom Brady just needs to stop fucking thinking he's not going to get those crisp routes and fucking throw them. It's not going to happen.
No.
Trust Mike Evans, go down the field and just fucking sling in the ball and get the 50-50. He's never done it before in his career, so no one's expecting him to do it. Leave it all out in the field. They did that and it came. And yeah, it's tough because, like, ultimately it came down to a Coach Bowles call that was, let's be honest, stupid. It was stupid.
Yeah, I'm trying to get over that.
If it weren't for Coach Bowles' calls, we wouldn't have had all the interceptions. We wouldn't have had all the short fields that Tom Brady got to play with.
Yeah.
Think of it. Antoine Winfield knocks that ball out just before halftime. That ball goes in, that game's a fucking wrap. So I can't put it on the defense. I got to put it on the team collective. That was the ultimate thing. It was like, yeah, that the reason we lost, the exact reason was Coach Bowles' play call. But it was a collective effort why we lost.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We lost also because
we could have been up by a fucking lot of points if we fucking scored some points in the first fucking quarter, second quarter.
Yeah.
We didn't score shit. So that's how I look at it. I never want to be that one person. Like when people blame referees, I've only blamed referees in one game, and that's because my team was playing against a team called Stampede, and every fucking time we made a defensive play, defensive coordinator, we got done for something. Like it was, and to be fair, some of them were legit. Like we had a late tackle called. Fair enough. I can live with it. Stupid play call. The one that fucking irked me the most, and I've watched the tape on it so many times, and it still pisses me off to this day, is we got done for defensive pass interference. The worst part was, two guys were like this, Both went up for the ball. My guy caught it. Their guy went like that.
Yeah.
Went defensive pass interference. I went, how? How did my guy get pushed down to the floor while he caught the ball and get called for defensive pass interference? It's fucking retarded. And they score. Oh my God, I remember it now. Their tight end scored. He was laid out on the floor and the ball just landed on his chest, bounced up, and he caught it.
Yeah.
And it was I fucking hate that game.
No, I understand. So we all have those moments where we just certain games we have PTSD. Yeah, that game will give me PTSD, but you're right.
I'll get it. I'm gonna beat that fucking team. I'm gonna kick their ass.
I hope you do, in style on them. Do a Coach Prime style.
Yeah.
But I say this, yeah, you're right. The Bucs as a team lost that game because when Wirfs went out, they never adjusted. Von Miller had his way with us. No fucking chipping, no nothing. That's why the offense was shit. Because I'm sitting here yelling at the screen, why aren't you chipping this man? Wells can't do it. And that's no knock to Wells. It's fucking Von Miller. He is a Hall of Fame caliber guy. That's why they brought him there to win the game. That's why when people that OBJ shit, OBJ did not help this team. He was the icing on he was the cherry on top. Von Miller was the base.
He was the threat that they needed to take away from Cooper.
A little bit.
To figure out Cooper Kupp.
And that was
let's face it, Cooper Kupp was the only guy on it. Like, name their wide receivers from that year, the year that they won the Super Bowl. Name the wide receivers on their squad.
I got you. It was Cooper, it was OBJ, and Woods. People forget Robert Woods was a very
than that year though. Like,
no,
Robert Woods, he came from Chargers. He's a Charger, right?
Yeah, I think so. But Robert Woods was a good shallow crossing route underneath.
The thing is, he was a good player, but he didn't play well for the Rams.
He was hot and cold. But I will say this: if Von Miller's not on that, if not Von Miller wasn't there, Bucs.
No. I don't. I think from an offensive standpoint,
yeah,
that was like their cherry on top, so to speak.
Yeah, he was. But Von Miller, if Von Miller doesn't go to the fucking Rams, the Rams don't win, and the Bucs are back-to-back champions. I'm saying what I'm saying. But that's not
difference, brother.
I'm gonna get that out of there. But yeah, but back to the Bucs. But Eagles, the biggest weakness that I will say, I hope the Bucs don't get in too much cushion coverage, because you don't want a guy like Hurst to beat you with his feet and his hands, because then if his footwork is hurting this defense and they get up early. Put it this way, the Bucs defense cannot allow if the Eagles get up 13-0 the first quarter, game's over, Bucs are done, in my opinion. That's just how it is. They can't catch up. I'm not saying they're going to get blown out, but they're not offensively ready yet to get there. Like I said, they're average offensively right now.
Okay. For you, AJ, give me your worst case and how you'd feel about it. Give me your expected, not expected, medium case, and best case scenario.
Worst case scenario is if the Bucs get embarrassed, and the reason why I say that, if the Buccaneers allow this offense, they cannot allow the offense to do body shots to this Bucs defense like we do to defenses, because offensively we're not ready yet to answer. We don't want Baker to feel like he has to be the hero, and I think yes. Now, in the reality of the game, I do expect it to be a close game for 3 quarters, but I think the fourth quarter, because of the Bucs' talent on defense, they can take it away. Now, what I really want, I want the Bucs to only have them put up 9 points and the Bucs put up 30 points. That's what I want, and I want a pick 6 from Carlton Davis. But as you said, it ain't my birthday yet. That's some wishful thinking.
I think you're more likely to get a pick 6 from Lavonte David.
Exactly. What about you? That same question.
Do we get blown out? The tough thing is dealing with the media blowout, and generally like how everyone will talk. This team is rebuilding, blah blah blah, all that kind of crap. So for me, that's the worst case scenario, because I don't want to deal with it. If we lose close, I can say, well, it'll depend why we lost. So if we can turn around, oh well, they just executed a couple of times better than us to get that field goal or to get to. I can live with that because you're a field goal away. Field goal away against considered a team that's considered to be one of the better teams in the NFC is a good thing. It's not that bad. I see this game as a measuring stick. If we win, this team could be legit. We know there's more games to be played, but this team could be legit. If we lose convincingly, as in we're in the game and we never lost the game, then it's like this team can still be a solid team in the playoffs. It could still make a way for itself. It's not the over. You get blown out. I'm more interested in next week and seeing how we respond, because you can't go back to back losses. You go back to back losses. You're on the drawing board. And the one thing we've been told about this Buccaneers team, there's still a lot of talent on this team that has won a Super Bowl, that has had the success, so to speak. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes from if things went a little bit disastrous, like who's stepping up, who's pushing this team forward. And I was at the bare minimum before the bye was 2-2. We've already achieved 2-2. I believe the Buccaneers right now are going, well, why not us? And that's the attitude you got to have. Why not us? Why can't we go and just mess it up?
Yeah, the Bucs have the talent on the board to do so, and that's why I'm gonna tell you this: the Bucs played them last year around this time. I would want them to win, but I would know we weren't. But this time we have an opportunity. The Bucs have enough on paper across the board to make things miserable for this Eagles team, because we already know if they try to establish a run, we're gonna stop that shit. I already know they're gonna, and the Eagles can't afford to force establishing the run. If we stop it soon, they're gonna go, okay, Hurts, you got to do something. And here's another thing. I'm banking on frustration. What if this happens? And I know this is wishful thinking. What if Hurts throws a pass AJ Brown's way and Carlton Davis picks it off? I'm telling you this now, Slick, that's gonna fuck with them. That's gonna fuck with the chemistry.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the best thing the Buccaneers could do, I could honestly see Christian Eriksen being the guy who picks the ball off and takes it into the end zone. Just because you got to remember where the nickel sits.
Yeah.
Sits close to the flats.
Yes.
Just wide out. Who's protecting the flats from an offensive standpoint? Nobody. You pick that ball at the right point, at the right time, it is a 6 every time. The flats are the most dangerous point from a pick 6 point of view, because there's no one around. You throw the ball in the hook seam curls right in the middle of the field. Yeah, it's annoying, but someone should get there. Not always, but someone should get there. Depending on play design and on the offensive line, someone should get there. The flats, let's say for the sake of argument, your number one wide receiver, your ex, is running a hitch, and you pick that shit off. That number one wide receiver is the only person who can stop that play.
And usually they don't do it, and it's a house.
You've caught it in stride, and you're just spearing down. I mean, obviously, the further they got to go, the more chance they've got of failing. But this is why pick sixes happen within their own half. They don't statistically don't happen that as much as often inside their half, just because it's a longer way to go. You run out of steam after a while, especially if it's been a long drive. There's so many variables to it, but yeah, I could see someone like Christian Eriksen being the guy who kind of caps off the game. Like, let's say for the sake of argument, the Bucs are up by 3. They got the ball. They're driving up the field, throw a ball. Izzy picks it off and just takes it to the house, and it's a 10-win. It's a 10-win ball game. I could see that. I generally could see that happening just by his clutchness and his playability. I'm hoping that it's more due to his ability to read a defense and what he's seeing on tape. So he's like really doing his research. And he's like, so when they do this, this is a hitch. I got it. I'm just going to
And I
Straight.
agree. And I think that the funny thing is a lot of people are saying more so like, oh, the Eagles could blow the Bucs out. I
Hey,
actually feel like the probability of the Bucs actually doing that more. As you said, if Izzy gets a pick six early, I'll say this: if shit goes bad for the Eagles early, they don't have the team that they had last year where they can recuperate. I think this year, if they go down early and shit goes bad, they're gonna hit the panic button like shit. What are we doing?
this is what we're going to see from their head coach. Has he got the nuts to deal with going down in a big game? You know,
And I agree with it. And let me give you this. Let me give me three players on offense that you expect to shine, and three players on defense that you expect to shine.
Rashad White. The game he's almost the key to the game. I do believe that they could deal with him. Baker Mayfield, it's a given. You need talent from you just need the quarterback to play good. Especially in a game like this, Monday Night Football. He just needs to be correct. He needs to come correct. He just needs to just not do too much. When it's on, it's on. When it's not on, check it away. And he's shown that so far. I've been nothing more than impressed of his poise of throwing balls away when they're not there. I take that. I will gladly go 3 and out if nothing's available. Now, if he's constantly got guys available, I'm like, dude, you need to figure some shit out because you are missing wide open guys. But if he's chucking balls and guys are getting covered up, it's football. Don't eat the sack. And if he's making the odd play here and there, great. My third guy, I'm going to go K. Darton. I think people are still sleeping on K. Darton. I think K. Darton is due a game where he needs to get open. I think it's a little bit too early for Trey Palmer. I think Trey Palmer's probably going to be the guy who shines in a few more weeks. I think he's going to have a game where he just pops. And they're just going to find so many different things for him to do that he hasn't like an unstoppable game. And I believe this is the game for K. Darton. K. Darton has the ability to press the seam, play it, break out, break in, bait block, all of it. I think he could, and I'm not saying he can be the next Gronk because that's not, you can't do that. But I think he could be Gronk-esque and have moments. So I think that's where I go with that. Defensively, it's going to have to come down to Vita Vea just bullying that pocket. They're going against a good center now. Bully that pocket, put that center on his back, just bully, and let everyone else mop up. I'd like to say JTS, but I think JTS has shown enough so far that he doesn't need to pop off just yet. What I want to see is our 2 linebackers. They need to make sure those running lanes are fucking killed. So I want him to go on a little jolly. I want that quarterback to go did it. Just like that. He's there with a shopping basket with a bunch of French loaves, with his little fucking what do they call them? Plaits in his hair, skipping away. Bang! What the fuck happened? Lost his bread. Boy lost his bread. That's what I want to see happen. So I think Antoine Winfield. I just think Antoine Winfield is someone who can just change a game for us. Yes. And he's shown that in the Vikings game. Not so much in the Bears game because he didn't need to. There was too much. We out-talented them. But in the Vikings game, that guy just like it's like he was fucking Goku and he just went pew, pew, just appeared in places. I was like, how did he do that? Yeah. Just his ability just to sniff out plays is what makes him so great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, final prediction score.
Sorry, final score. I'm gonna go 24-28.
Okay, I like it.
Bucs,
I like it.
Touchdown. They got the field goal. They're driving to try and get it. We killed the drive.
Okay, I like that. Damn, that was good. That was a great analysis. I'm just gonna give you my 3 real quick. For whatever reason, I think Mike Evans. I think for whatever, I think they finally realized when you get Evans going, and it's not going to, I don't think he's going to have a big yardage game. He's just going to have a key touchdown where they're going to take the attention. They're going to have to focus on him. And then that's where Palmer, I got Palmer going off. I have Palmer getting a 50-yard bomb because they're going to be so hell-bent on keeping Evans on lock. They're going to forget this dude got that 4.3 speed. And we've already known, K for Life said their secondary is sus. And then I got Baker. I think Baker, I feel like Baker's still, and I know I'm crazy, but I ain't crazy. Baker's going to have 360 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 possible run. I say that because the funny thing is I think Baker is gonna channel his Jalen Hurts-esque energy and say, okay, I'm going to take off on you bastards a couple times.
There's Oklahoma.
Exactly. His Oklahoma. And I'm not crazy on it. I feel like of course they're going to be so focused on stopping the receiving core. Baker's going to say, wow, if nothing's there, I'm going to take off and make this defense go shit. Now,
you just want to set. It's like it kind of works with the Brady-esque thing because you just send all these guys deep and they're going, okay, we're going to do this. I was like, well, you're going to give me under yards as long as I just keep sliding, because you're going to give them, because I'm sending everyone deep, because you have to honor it by gaining depth, right? Even if you only gain 5 yards depth, the smallest depth of a person generally is 3, so they gain 3 yards by the time they realize you're gaining 5 yards. But last I checked, 5 yards of carry is not bad. I mean, obviously you can't do it every game, and you're going to bust more than 5 yards now and again, but it's being smart with it and using it to your advantage. So I agree with that.
Yep. And then on the defensive side, I'm going to start with Antoine. Like you said, Antoine is due for an interception. He's due for an interception. I say that because they're going to test him. I think he's going to not pick 6. He's going to get a deep pass interception. They're going to test. They're going to test that secondary. I think they're going to throw a deep pass to AJ Brown's side, and Devin and fucking Rashad Winfield is going to catch that shit like he did in the Colts against Pittman Jr. That's my guy. And you're right, Vita Vea. Vita doesn't need to get a sack. Vita just needs to chew up 2 linemen to where the edge rushers take over. That's my thing. I want Vita, of course, to be able to kill the run. If Vita makes them on the passing defense so scared where it's like, if we don't double him, we're screwed. That's where we're going to come in. And then my third guy, Shaq. This is the reason why Shaq has a veteran-esque mindset. I think JTS, I don't think he doesn't have anything to prove, but I think his greenness is going to go against him this game because they're going to know how to deal with him. Shaq, on the other hand, if Shaq has that veteran-esque energy, then JTS will go off. So that's the reason why I say that. Because if Shaq does that shit, now JTS can just use his physical attributes, because now they're going to be focused on, okay, we got to make sure Shaq doesn't kill us. And the linebacking core is going to take care of their job. I'm not worried about Levante and Devin. So that is me. My prediction, though, I think this is going to be a close game. I said Bucs 24, but the Eagles 17. For some, 24 Bucs.
Well, it was 17 3 times if you do that.
Yes, I do think, and I think this is why I say this, and I know I'm jumping the gun. I think if they hold them under 20 points, the Bucs are going to have a field day with the punk ass Saints. That's just where I'm going to leave that at. They're going to have a field day with them because they can't do shit, and we're going to be overhyped. We're going to be hyped. So that is me. But guys, again, thank you for checking in on 102.9, The Aftermath, the game, Broad Street South. Again, catch us all the time on The Aftermath. We talk about that Bucs talk, and as you can see, we like to talk about the game of football. But now you can just check me out, AJ Turn Up, on It's About Buck and Time. That's my YouTube page. And also check out my link in the bio on Instagram, Twitter, and all that, AJ Turn Up. And check this out right here. Get that good shit right here. Future focus. That's all. That's what I'm about. Positivity. And as always, go Bucs. And Slick, catch you Monday. Let's get that victory. I'm speaking into existence. Take care of yourself, my man.
And you, brother. Okay, guys, that's the end of the show. It's a bit late for me, so I gotta go to bed at some point today. I'm not feeling too great. I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm feeling a little bit rough. But medicine in booze. Always believed it, never doubted it. But your Tampa Bay Buccaneers go up against the Philadelphia Eagles on this Monday Night Football. What is your prediction? How do you feel about this game? Do you feel we're going to get blown out? Do you feel this team is just not ready to take on that hurdle yet? Me personally, I think we're ready. This is the measuring stick. This is where the Buccaneers can go, where are we at? And if we lose big, then we got some work to do. If we don't lose big, we can keep moving. And if we win, wow, those Tampa Bay Buccaneers are eye in the sky right now. So, without further ado, Bucs on me, Bucs on 3. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!